Hey everyone, it's Adam here from Ads Productions. This video is intended for people that are completely new with Premiere Pro. So if you have no idea what you're doing and feel like using Premiere Pro is about as easy as interpreting Egyptian hieroglyphics, then this is the video to help you get started. So you finally get Premiere Pro installed on your PC. Now it's time to actually learn the basics about the program. Let's start with importing a video clip. At the start, Premiere Pro will seem quite daunting, with what seems like a quite complex setup if you're only used to Sony Vegas. The first window is your chance to name the project that you'll be working on, as well as the location of the actual saved file. As for the rest of the details, such as display format and audio sample formats, you can just leave these as they are for now. Once you get past the first window, you will now see sequence presets. These are basically pre-made settings bundles that specify video frame size, audio sample rates, etc., etc. just to try and make sure that your life is a little bit easier. If you wish to create your own timeline, you can do that. Just choose an existing preset and then go to the Settings tab to change these settings to your liking. When you're happy with the changes, just press OK. So when you get past all the boring stuff, we can now actually get onto the real nitty-gritty of this software. So here we have the layout that you can see on the screen now. This is the one that I use. This is the standard layout, but you can customize this to your heart's content if you so choose. On the left hand side is a preview window for the source clip, otherwise known as the selected clip, and on the right hand side we have the same type of preview window, except this is for the whole project. This is a very nice feature that Sony Vegas does not appear to have. At the bottom left is your basic media browser, along with your actual project media that you have imported, such as my intro and a sequence. There are other tools here that you'll be able to use for your advantage. A great feature that gets regularly overlooked is the history tab. Say for example you're on a roll with video editing and you need to go back a few steps or spot where you went wrong. The history tab is a great feature for this. When looking up about Premiere Pro, you may have stumbled on something called sequences. Now this can get very confusing if you don't know what you're doing, but basically it's pretty simple. A sequence houses a series of video clips, and from this we're able to merge them into a single timeline for our overall project. An example sequence would be as follows. Say for example you had an edited intro in one sequence, and then maybe a scene shot in a garden and then maybe another one in a supermarket. You will now be able to define these and edit them accordingly, each on their own. And then when you've finished, you can just add the two sequences together in the final timeline. So you're basically putting sequences inside sequences for sequenceception. And now putting together a total video project appears to be more like a jigsaw puzzle than a challenging video edit. This is a really nice feature and a great refreshing change from Sony Vegas. Placing sequences within sequences is getting a little bit too complicated for this basics video, but you can be sure some tutorials about this are coming very, very shortly. If you click on the button editor indicated by the small plus icon underneath the preview windows for Premiere Pro, you can actually change the buttons that appear. This adds an extra layer of customization. You can add, rearrange, move them, do whatever you like. And if at any point you find yourself thinking, oh damn, I've just deleted or rearranged it in a way that I don't want, just simply click Reset Layout and it will just change it back to how it was. Okay, so here's a brief rundown of all the tools that come with Premiere Pro. Firstly, you have your selection tool. This is the main tool that you'll be using a lot to select certain clips on your timeline. Track Select tool is the one that will select all the clips that are on a track from a given point. You can use this to select multiple tracks as well. Ripple Edit tool. This nudges all of the clips selected up so that you don't have to waste time selecting each and every small video segment just to sort the timeline organization. You can also just slide all the clips across. Rolling Edit tool allows you to move the transitional edit points between two clips. The Rate Stretch tool. Long story short, this lets you speed up and slow down your video clips. The Razor tool lets you cut a clip into two clips. The Slip tool allows you to adjust the clips in and out points as to not affect the rest of the timeline. The Slide tool moves the clip forwards and backwards with the adjacent clips as well. The Pen tool creates anchor points, aka control points. The Hand tool moves the timeline left and right. The Zoom tool is self-explanatory. When you're ready to export your video project, go to File, then go to Export, and then click on Media. From here I usually like to click the Match Sequence Settings box because I would want my final video file to be of the same resolution and settings as the one I was working on within the application. Once you have finished selecting your settings for your export, you will find yourself with two options. The first option will be the Q button. Q will throw your sequence over to what is called the media encoder, which will in a sense add it to a queue to be rendered, which is especially useful if you need to export multiple sequences at the same time. Also, this option is nice because if you want to create multiple file types of the same video clip, media encoder is most certainly something I'll be making use of in future videos, but for your basic 10-minute YouTube clip, the normal export button gets the job done straight away with no questions. There we have it, a basic run through of Adobe Premiere Pro. I anticipate there to be quite a few Premiere Pro tutorials, so if you have any suggestions, please feel free to add them in a comment below. Thanks again, this has been Adam from Ads Productions.